It's been 6 years since I got my very first laser ever, and what a journey it's been. Hello and welcome, my name is Fabi from Fabi Design Studio, and today I'm gonna show you the difference between a Glowforge and a Thunder when creating a rubber stamp from start to finish, and talk to you a little bit about why I decided to upgrade my lasers after so many years. I got my Glowforge about 6 years ago, and it was my very first laser. I've created so many things with it, but there were so many limitations for all the many things I wanted to create. I always wanted to experiment with engraving tumblers or creating and working with bigger things that were just impossible for my Glowforge. And just a few months ago, I had the opportunity to upgrade to a Thunder laser bolt, and it's honestly been a game changer. Now, you might be thinking, I'm a complete beginner, I don't understand anything about lasers, I don't know where to begin. Or like me, I am so scared to transition to a different laser, learn a new software, it's gonna take me forever to understand. Well, it's simpler than you think. For a little comparison, I come from having a Glowforge Pro HD, which is a $7,000 machine, and I transitioned to a Thunderbolt Laser Basic, which is $5,795. That's already a big difference. Well, today we're not going over all the specs and complex terminology. We're gonna make things real simple, and I'm actually gonna show you how different they are when working on the exact same project. So let's get started. The materials for my project are gonna be laser safe rubber, self-adhesive foam, plywood for my handle, and some super glue. It is really important that no matter what laser you're using, the materials must be laser safe. Creating your laser ready file. When working with my laser, I always have my files as a PDF or SVG. Creating a file from the Glowforge app is possible, but you have to keep in mind there are so many limitations unless you are subscribed to their premium membership, which is $20 a month or $239 per year. Things like adding basic shapes, flipping your design, or creating outlines are part of that membership. With Thunder, you automatically get lifetime access to Lightburn, which is a super complete software where you can create your designs and directly send them to your laser. Skills needed? The same as the ones for creating a file on your Glowforge. If you're not about creating and you're more about buying laser ready files, you can also import them to Lightburn and then send them directly to your laser. For my logo, I imported the design I wanted to use, and I am going to create an outline around it so I can cut it. I then resized it and then perfectly centered my design to the outline shape. After that, I duplicated my shapes for the different steps and materials I need for the project. I duplicated the logo so I can engrave it on the handle I will create, and I also duplicated the outline to create the foam support that will go in between the rubber and the handle. I want to make sure I mirror the design that will be engraved on the rubber, so when I actually use the stamp, the logo won't look reversed. By having both steps set to engrave, the software will automatically read as engraving the background and leaving the actual logo raised. When it comes to the settings, it can be a little bit overwhelming just to think about where to even begin, but the good thing is that Thunder has some preset settings and a library that you can just import to Lightburn and you can start from there. These are all settings tested by them, and the good thing is that they have a bunch of different ones such as wood, acrylic, leather, rubber, and so on, and you can use these as a starting point and just adjust them to your preference depending on your project or the results that you want. This settings library is permanently saved to your Lightburn, so you don't have to be entering settings over and over again. Now, Glowforge also has a library with tested materials, but the selection is more limited compared to Thunder. This doesn't mean that working with those materials is impossible, it just means that you will have to test every material that is not listed until you find the right settings for it, which can be pretty time consuming. Now, to begin our project, we're gonna select our settings, which is rubber. For the engraving, we're gonna be using 300 speed, 75% maximum power and 75% minimum with the air assist off. And for cutting, we're gonna do 10 speed, 55 maximum power, 55 minimum power, and with the air assist on. I believe the only setting that was not included in my Thunder library was the rubber, but you can easily just add it and save it together with your existing library. For our plywood and our foam, we are just gonna scroll through our library and we're gonna search for each by name, and we will just add it to each layer. Like I mentioned before, each step is a different color, which tells our system that it's a different layer or different step. I am going over the settings anyway, so you can have them right away. And our plywood for engraving will be 400 speed, 40% maximum power, 40% minimum power, and no air assist. Now for cutting our plywood, we're using 8-speed, 70% maximum power, 70% minimum power, and we are using the air assist. And for our foam will be 20 speed, 70% maximum power, and 70% minimum power with air assist on. Now, one cool thing about Lightburn is that you can actually see your project. We can select our rubber here. We're gonna set the preview mode, and this will take 34 minutes with 15 seconds, and we can see what the project will look inside our laser. This is great for you to make sure that everything is in the right place and you did not miss anything and it just looks right. Now, another big difference between Glowforge and Thunder is that Glowforge works via Wi-Fi, so if your internet is down, you can't do anything. And Thunder works via Ethernet cable or USB, which means that if you don't have internet, you can still work with your laser, and that is really great. So I'm gonna show you right now what it looks like when I have my Thunder working, since I have a desktop computer that is pretty far away from it and I just gotta work things around. When working with my Thunder, I have this super long cable, which I truly don't mind because I really only use it when I'm working with it, and I can just push it against the wall and it reaches my computer all the way till the other side of the room. Now I have my hose venting through the window and my cable connected to my computer all the way over there, and that way I can use my laser safely. Now, Thunder takes safety really seriously, so it's got a bunch of safety mechanisms such as this emergency stop, and for you to turn on your machine, you just swipe your little key and the magic happens. For my Thunder, there is this control panel which allows me to move my laser head around and place it exactly where I want it to start, where I can also select a starting point from Lightburn, and it makes things easier and it gives you more control over the project that you're working on. One thing I absolutely love about Thunder is that I can actually adjust my laser bed in case my material is thicker. I can go ahead and just click the button and it will go up and down depending on where I need it to be. Whether with Glowforge, I had to remove the crumb tray and stack materials until I reach the desired height of my material without it hitting the laser head. With the control panel that I previously showed you, I'm just gonna go ahead and move my laser head to the starting point so I have more room to place my material. Got my rubber right here. We just place it on the laser bed and we are going to set our laser head to where we want it to start working. This is a cool thing, like you can decide exactly where you want it to be. There's a little laser, I am not sure if you can see it, but there's a little laser red dot right here that just shows you exactly where your project will start, and you can just move it around, adjust it to your preference. If it doesn't land exactly where you want it, it's just as easy as you move your material to where you want it to start. So we're gonna go all the way to the top corner right here, right at the edge. We're gonna select that as our origin, which will tell the laser that is exactly where we want it to start. Once we are sure our material is how we want it, our design is how we want it, we're gonna select it. We're gonna start with the rubber. We're gonna go to our laser. Our starting point, our origin, is all the way to the left corner, and we are going to send it. It's gonna ask us to give it a name. We're gonna just put stamp, and that will keep it saved in your laser. Just like that, our design is already in our laser and we can start working with it. We already adjusted our origin, so now we're gonna adjust our focus. This is like physically going to touch the material to set the perfect focus for it. On our control panel, you're gonna see the option to autofocus. You're gonna select it. It's gonna tell you that it's going to do it, just in case you have something that the laser head can hit. You are just very sure that it's clear, and you are just gonna select OK. And this is what it looks like. It's raising the bed. It's touching the measuring tool, and it's just setting the exact perfect focus that you need for that material. Now our focus is ready, everything is good. We have our origin set, so now we're going to do our framing to make sure that our project fits in our material and adjust anything in case it needs to. This is what framing looks like. And that way we make sure that everything stays within the area that we want to. That everything is in place, we're gonna go ahead and close our lid and start our project. Now let's go to our Glowforge. We do not have automatic settings to our rubber since it is not considered a proof grade material, so I have previously tested the settings and added them to my library. Since I no longer have a premium membership, I'm just going to go ahead and export the design I created in Lightburn and upload it to the Glowforge app. Once the design is on my work area, I will select the settings, out of focus, and send it to my laser. Now that we have the right material focus, we are ready to start our print. We select print and we're gonna see how long this is going to take. Our stamp will take 3 hours and 29 minutes with 20 seconds. I'm checking my progress and my Thunder laser finished the rubber part, and I go back to my Glowforge and it's still working on the first pass. So now we just have to wait for it to finish that because it will take 2 passes. This is the remaining time for the rubber part, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue with the next steps for the first stamp. It cut through very cleanly as it comes right off. You can see the detail in the engraving and it looks really great. We are now going to place our foam, and I'm gonna speed up the process for you, but the cutting time was 26 seconds and the process of the engraving and cutting 2 plywood pieces took 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Once we have all of our pieces cut, we can clean out our rubber to begin assembling the pieces together. Working with rubber can be pretty messy, so always make sure to clean your laser and lenses before your next project to ensure best performance. I use Dawn soap or pink paste and a little brush to clean my rubber and rinse it off with warm water and make sure to dry it really well before the next step. This is where you can really see the detail on the rubber, really crisp and clean. Now let's put our pieces together. I will be using super glue and I am going to glue both plywood pieces together. I went very basic with this stamp just to show you the process, but you can make a really nice 3D handle or use different materials if you prefer. I'm now just adjusting my pieces and making sure they're even before my glue dries up. After that, I'm going to grab my self-adhesive foam and remove the masking on the back and adhere it to the back of my handle. Adding foam to your stamp will give you a more even and crisp finish without having to add too much pressure. Now I grab my rubber and add some super glue to adhere to the foam. Now that my stamp is finished, I'm going to grab my ink pad, and instead of tapping my stamp on the pad, I'm going to do it the other way around. This prevents the ink from bleeding through the sides and it gives me a much cleaner result. I'm just gonna add very light pressure, and look how great the stamp came out. There is no bleeding on the sides and the shapes are super smooth. It came out perfect. I was able to build the entire stamp, and my second one just finished engraving. This piece came out really good. It was not a smooth cut as the previous one where it came right off, but it still came out great. Now you can also see that this one came out a bit messier, but it is just a matter of scrubbing a little bit more. This is what my rubber cut with Glowforge looks like. It is also pretty crisp and clean finish. Now for the 2 pieces of plywood, the time was 17 minutes and 4 seconds, while cutting the foam took 19 seconds. This is what my finished stamp looks like, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same as the other and tap my ink pad to cover the design only. I placed my stamp on the paper just like before and added a little bit of pressure. You can see a bit of a difference, but it might have been just that I did not add as much ink or pressure as the previous one. The engraving on the Thunder stamp is also a little bit lighter than the Glowforge, but that just means I will have to adjust my speed a little bit if I wanted a darker engraving. When it comes to having a laser business and wanting to make an income out of all the amazing things you can create, time matters, and it matters a lot. And also the flexibility and possibility to work with different materials does too. So now that I've used both machines, I can tell you that there's actually a big difference, and it is totally worth it. Not only when it comes to saving time, but also performance. And right now, I'm not sure if this is going to be available in the future, but if you purchase a Thunderbolt, you will also be receiving a free guide from Haley, From Laser to Lifestyle, where she will teach you and share with you all of her tips and everything she knows so you can be successful too. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe and stick around for more content.